we're going to solve this equation, quadratic equation, using completing the square. Remember, I had taken a general look at how it is done in an earlier video. You should check that out. Alright? Now here, we're looking at a specific example in this case. X squared plus 4x plus 3 equal 0. Down here, I have my shapes that I'm going to use. So I have a square here, two rectangles, and another square. So I have a large square right here. Alright. Then, in addition to that, I have these two rectangles. Now, these two rectangles is actually this rectangle here cut in two halves downward, and then I have a small square. This is a complete square. Without this small square, it is incomplete. Alright, it's a square that I'm forming with these four shapes, trying to get a perfect square or a complete square. Let's see how it applies to this. When you're going to solve this type of equation now, what you have to do is subtract 3 from both sides. Subtract 3. So I have x squared plus 4x. If I subtract 3 from both sides, minus 3, it's plus 3. So what I'll do now is minus 3 equal, and then 0 minus 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. So that part will go. So here, all you have on the left hand side is x squared plus 4x. And then on the right hand side, all you have is 3. So that's it. Now, you must add something here to form a perfect square. What are you going to add? Interesting. Let us see first of all. Let us look at this. You have x squared. So this is a square with area x squared. The width is x and the height is x. So the area of the square is x squared. Alright? This 4x is this rectangle here. It's 4 wide and x high. It's the same height as the square over here. Now, what I need to do is cut this into two halves. I already have the cut squared over here. So if I cut this into two halves, on one side is 2 and the other side is 2. So this square is 2 wide and it is x high. The height of it is x. This square is 2 high, 2 units high, and an x unit wide. So I have 2x and 2x. So remember now, the square is not completed because I wouldn't have this part yet. Now here, back to this. This 4, it is really the 2x and 2x, this 4x. So the question is, what am I supposed to put here? Let me rewrite this. This is x squared plus 2x plus 2x. The 2x plus 2x would be the area of this rectangle and this rectangle. So far I have x squared plus 2x plus 2x. Because this rectangle is 2 by x. The area is 2 times x. So what do I add here? What I'm going to add at the end, remember the equal 3 will be here. What I'm going to add right at the end here should complete the square. I need to add something to complete the square. Now, to complete this square, I'm going to put this. Now remember, this square that we're completing is this. All of this square we're completing. So, to complete the square, I put that little rectangle there. But what are the dimensions of the rectangle? It is 2 high and 2 wide. So it's the area of the square I'm looking at now. It is 2 squared. 2 by 2 gives you 2 squared, which is 4. It's going to be 4. But so it is 2 squared. Notice half of 4 is 2 and then we square it. So what we do is add half the coefficient of x squared. The coefficient of x is 4. Half it, you get 2 and then square it. Square the 2. You see that? Now, hold on. On the left hand side, we'll deal with that later on. Now, what is the total width of the square? It is x plus 2. And what is the total height of the square? X plus 2. You see that? X and 2 more. Right? This is x wide and then 2 more wide. So it is x plus 2 wide. This is x high and then 2 more. So it's x plus 2 high. So the entire area of it is equal to x plus 2 squared. The whole square, the big square here, the total square. Right? From here all the way around, it is x plus 2 all squared. That's where you find this, the area of a square. So this now, I could write it as x plus 2 all squared equal 3. But hold on a minute. Alright, let me just erase the x plus 2 part here. Hold on 1 minute here now. What happened? You notice I added something new. I added 2 square on the left hand side. So I need to add 2 square on the right hand side. 3 plus 2 squared in order to balance it. So this is 2 squared is what? 4. 3 and 4. 7. So this on the right hand side is 7. This x plus 2 all squared is equal to 7. You see that? Now, here. Let me just divide it with a line and continue up here. X plus 2 all squared is equal to 7. Alright? Now, remember, we had x squared plus 4x. Half 4x, we get 2. And then square 2, and we put it at the end here. We added 2 squared, and we added it right here. Now, in order to maintain balance of the equation, we must add it over on the right hand side too. 2 squared is 4. 4 and 3 is 7. So what we have to do here now, we want x equal. So we square root both sides. And so we want the square root of x plus 2 squared is equal to the square root of 7. But remember, what we have here as a square root is the positive and negative. We have to consider the positive and negative square roots. So this now, what is it going to be? Oh, my. Where I subtracted 3, I didn't put the negative sign. There's a negative sign in front of the 3. I didn't remember to put it. Let me put it there now. Oh, this wouldn't be 7, you know. Now that I remember the negative sign. It's a minus 3 because I subtracted it. Subtracted 3 from both sides. It's a minus 3. So here now, negative 3 plus 4 gives you 1. It's a 1, not a 7. It's 1. So equals 1. 1. So here now, the square root of 1 is 1. The square root of x plus 2 squared is just x plus 2. So x plus 2 is equal to positive and negative 1. So x is positive and negative 1. If you subtract 2 from both sides, you have a minus 2. So in one case, x is equal to 1 minus 2 is what? 1 minus 2 is negative 1. And x equal, let me put a comma there, x equals negative 1 minus 2 is a negative 3. So here we have our answers. Alright? So x is negative 1 and x is negative 3. Now the thing is, you could have done it without the shapes. It's just that the shapes now, if you are new to this thing, the shapes would help you to see what's going on. But let's do it again without the shapes. Once you remember what to do. X squared plus 4x plus 3 equals 0. Let's do it again. You're given x squared plus 4x plus 3 equals 0 to solve by completing the square. Right? What happened here is this. You subtract 3 from both sides, so you have x squared plus 4x equals negative 3. Because 3 minus 3 is 0, so you won't have any 3 again anymore on the left hand side. Now you have 4x. What you're going to do is put something here. What are you going to add? To complete the square, you add half the coefficient of x, and then when you do that, you square it. So half of 4 is equal to 2, and then you square 2. You square the 2. I get 2 squared. So that is what you're going to put there. That 2 squared is going to come right here. So you have x squared plus 4x plus 2 squared. And then if you add something to the left, you must add it to the right as well. So you have plus 2 squared here. Now here, what happened is that you have x plus 2 plus 4x plus 2 squared. The perfect square here is really x plus 2 all squared. And that is equal to negative 3 plus 2 squared is negative 3 plus 4, which is 1. You square root both sides. So you have the square root of x plus 2 all squared is equal to positive and negative square root of 1. Alright? Do you know the reason why you put a positive and negative in front of the square root? If you don't, just put it in the comments and I'll make a video and link to it and explain the reason. Alright? Once I see anyone say they don't understand why you put a positive and negative in front of the square root. But anyway, the square root of a number squared is the number itself. So x plus 2 is equal to Well, square root of 1 is 1, so it's positive and negative 1. So here now, subtract 2 from both sides. You have x is equal to positive and negative 1 minus 2. So in one case, x is 1 minus 2. And in the other case, x is negative 1 minus 2. So you have x is equal to negative 1. And x is equal to negative 3. Alright? So here now, just remember that the x squared plus 4x plus 2 squared is x plus 2r squared. It represents the total area of the big square here that you form. So it is x squared plus 4x plus 2 squared. Same thing as x plus 2 times x plus 2, which is x plus 2r squared. Alright? Okay, so any questions, comments, and so on, just put them in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next video.